So now we come to a series that we were featuring in a previous show, but it was with when I was co-hosting with Dave Cossey, and it's a show called The Acolyte. Now, The Acolyte is the one that was done by Leslye
Leslie
Headley or
Heatherly.
Heatherly or something. Every time I hear that though, it can't be that because otherwise I would have been thinking of the Top Gun line. I had Commander Heatherly in my sights,
Oh yeah.
which for me, I mean, the reason why I remember that line so well, which is, I mean, it's totally stupid, but because it's Michael Ironside and Commander Heatherly sounds like
A woman.
kind of like either a woman or like just kind of a really lightweight name. Like you wouldn't expect like his character to,
Have that name.
yeah, you know,
Headland. Her last name is Headland.
yes. And this was basically something that we featured on the show, like I said, 2 or 3 weeks ago, where we were talking about. It was kind of like a Indiana Jones meets Star Wars thing, and the whole idea was it was going to be not so much about the characters as much as the geography, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, this says the Acolyte, Leslye Headland, Emmy Award nominated creator of the mind bending series Russian Doll, brings a new Star Wars series to Disney Plus with the Acolyte. The Acolyte is a mystery thriller that will take the audience into a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic era. So this is
This is a mystery thriller, and that was the part that was not. Again, when we covered it in the show, they basically just announced that she was doing it, and she kind of gave a little 1 or 2 sentence blurb about what it was going to be and everything, but it wasn't. It
fleshed
didn't.
out.
And it really didn't reveal anything. I mean, it was just kind of like, okay, this is kind of what it is, but it's really exciting to me that this is a mystery thriller because I love mysteries. Mysteries are one of my favorite genres of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Even more so than horror or anything like that. I love the whole mystery kind of thing. And in a mystery thriller just actually brings it up a notch. A mystery thriller set in the Star Wars universe, I think my head's going to explode.
Well, yeah, especially it's called the Acolyte, and so then of course the first thing you start thinking about is those Sith acolytes, and so when they're talking about like a galaxy of shadowy secrets and emerging dark side powers, in the final days of the High Republic era, so that just makes me wonder, like, okay, well, one, this is taking place in the High Republic era, so it's not dealing with like Vader and Palpatine and all those guys. However, it could be the onset of some things, like I said, that's to come. And I'm really like curious to kind of see like, okay, well, what dark side things haven't we seen yet?
Well, I'll tell you what I think it could be. Remember in the Phantom Menace when they said that the Sith had been extinct for like a millennia?
Yep.
Okay, well, this is only a couple hundred years before the Phantom Menace, and we know that at the time that Palpatine was starting his ascent to power, they'd been around for a little bit. You had Darth Bane, you had Darth Plagueis, you had all these guys, Revan, well, of course that's Old Republic, but still, I'm thinking that this is the beginnings of the modern day Sith. That's what I think it is. And at first, when I saw the Acolyte, I was sort of hoping it was. There's these guys in the Aftermath trilogy that are sort of like little Vader disciples. They're almost like the precursors to the Acolytes that we see on Exegol.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, like, they were running around trying to collect all these dark side artifacts and things that, Vader left behind. Like, they supposedly were going to have his lightsaber. Like, they had his lightsaber. They had all this stuff. Like his Sith lightsaber I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought maybe it would focus on that, which, I mean, that would have been cool. But the fact that it focuses on the High Republic era, this is really exciting to me. Because what I love about this is the fact that it's now moving from books to going into an actual live action, whether it's a movie or a TV show. It didn't actually matter to me. I just wanted to see the High Republic move into the realm of some sort of a series or movie.
Yeah, and I think if this is successful, I think we'll start going further back into the High Republic era where we can see more of that content where that stuff that what we're going to get in the books, we're probably going to start seeing on the screen at some point.
I hope so. I mean, I really hope so because again, I mean, I think that the High Republic is something that they could really. I mean, it's a very interesting era, and keep in mind we don't even know that much about it yet.
Right.
You know, this is something that we've gotten a lot of information. Like, it's almost like the trailers that were for season 2 of The Mandalorian. They gave us a lot without giving us anything.
Right.
You know, and that's basically what the High Republic has been. I mean, they've been giving us, okay, here's all the Jedi, and here's all the, villains, and, here's some of the Padawans, and, oh, look, a young Yoda, and, I mean, and it's going to take place here, and it's going to do this, and this is going to be the basic framework of the series, but it's not, they haven't given us anything. And like you said, the books are coming out, like the first one's in January. So, I mean, we're starting to now, we're going to get this world building. We're going to get the High Republic. Ronaldo says, I'm really hype about this.
Yeah, I really thought it was going to be a Dr. Aphra series, but it wasn't. A surprise to be sure, but a welcome one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of surprised too. I thought maybe it could be Dr. Aphra. In fact, I think, Ronaldo, you were actually commenting on the show the last time when Dave and I were talking about it. Because Indiana Jones and Star Wars, well, who's that? That's Dr. Aphra. He goes on to say, personally, this is a series that I look forward to the most. For the first time, we will see a new era in live action focusing on the secrets of the dark side, expanding the universe of Star Wars.
Kim says, the Acolyte sounds like it's worth a watch. I hope they don't make it too woke.
Yeah, I know. I really hope they keep a lot of that stuff
contained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The SJW thing, it's kind of like, okay, I get it. It's important in the world. Like, look, this is fantasy sci-fi.
Yeah, let's just...
can we just escape the problems of Earth for, like, one, do we have to start bringing... I mean... Let's not taint the world of Star Wars with
the
earthly problems.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is not supposed to be social commentary here. This is entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally agree. I hope that they don't do that, but I don't think so because, first of all, it's a mystery thriller. I know that kind of sounds out of left field, but the fact that it's more of a specific genre film, if it was a political thriller, I'd say, okay, there might be some allegorical type stuff going on. But I really don't think that's the case, though. With this, I think it's... Plus, it's kind of like they're looking for artifacts and their dark side stuff. I mean, this is getting into the heavy lore, Jedi, Sith.
Holocrons, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of the nerdier type of stuff in Star Wars. I don't think that there's a whole lot of room to, like... Oh, look, we're going to make this an allegory for this thing that's going on in the world today or something. I mean, I just don't think that that's the case. But I'm kind of with Ronaldo, though. I think that this is one of the ones I'm probably looking forward to the most. It's the one that intrigues me for all the reasons that he said, because I didn't really expect that to be the case.
Yeah. I'm really excited for this one. Is this the last one on the docket today?
It is. I mean, unless,
Okay.
Of course, there's always hey, if there's anything. Because, look, there's a lot of stuff announced. I wasn't going to make...
Yeah, and some things that probably weren't even announced at the Boba Fett thing.
Some people... Right, exactly. I
But-
mean, and we can go on talking about that. The other thing that I got to ask, too, I should have asked it before we, went live, but do we have Clear Your Mind questions today?
No, we don't.
All right, well, I'm glad that I didn't go to the segment and, because then it'd be like, all right, anybody, but hey, if you guys want, chat in a question right now and we'll do it and Clear Your Mind.
But I actually do have one question that I'm going to pose to you at the very end of this. But anywho, yeah, the Acolyte, I think that's going to be cool. I think that's going to be interesting. We've seen a lot of the Jedi, or we're going to see a lot of the Jedi in the sense of the books. We've heard things like in, The Rise of Skywalker, things like that. But I think now we really want to see some of the dark side stuff. You know, I think a lot
That's
of people.
true, 'cause we really haven't seen that much.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think now is a time where we can see, like, okay, people who really love like the Vader, the Emperor, and all that type of stuff. Well, you know, and there's a lot of people who are like fans of Bane, Revan, and all those characters. So now, if we can kind of see, like, okay, well, let's look into their history and how the Sith work, because we can kind of know how the Jedi work, but we don't know how the Sith operate. Like, what are their? We know the rule of two and everything, but okay. Like I said, do they have Jedi trials or Sith trials, or how do you become?
Yeah, they're trying to kill each other, basically.
Well, I mean, how do you become a Sith Lord before, you know?
Well, right. Like, there's a Sith acolyte. It's like, is an acolyte a Padawan?
Yeah, is that a rank, or, you know?
Well, and the other thing, too, is that, okay, the show is called The Acolyte. Well, who's that referring to?
Exactly.
You know, is that some sort of Sith in training? Is it, kind of like more of a disciple-ish kind of thing, or, like they're just following the teachings of, who knows?
Yep.
I mean, they alluded to the fact it was a little bit more based on geography and stuff like that. But again, I don't think it could be understated enough, as Ronaldo pointed out, that, hey, this is taking place in a brand new era that we've never seen. And I think that that's probably one of the most exciting things. Now, I think that it's a little bit... I think it's significant. I'll put it like that. I think it's significant that this is happening toward the end of the High Republic.
Right.
And I think that it's happening because they don't want to trap anybody into any kind of story or, paint somebody in a corner or anything like that. They need to leave most of the High Republic intact so that authors, comic book story creators, or if they want to do some more live action stuff, they need to leave that somewhat open for stories to be told freely.
Yeah, I mean, and not only that, but like you said, you have at that period, like, okay, well, the Sith have been gone for a millennia, so like now at some point that tide has to start coming back into the fray.
Yeah, you would think so. I would hope that it really starts to deal with this stuff, and it makes me wonder. I mean, the mystery you can see, because obviously there might be some sort of a mysterious thing they have to do or solve or whatever, but kind of like a mystery thriller. Just knowing that genre, it makes you wonder how they're going to present this.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I can see, like, there may be some things in the Force that have been activated, or some things in the Force that they're feeling that they haven't felt before. And they're like, okay, well, what the heck is that? We need to, dispatch some people to go just figure out what this is, or maybe somebody might be Force sensitive and starting to have some reactions to things. And they're like, oh, I've heard about this before, but, I heard about this old myth or this old ritual that this one group of people called the Sith used to do, but it kind of sounds like that, but I'm not sure. Well, let's go look for it. So, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, it's going to be, well, it'll be really interesting either way. But, again, let us know in the comment section, guys, what you guys are thinking. I mean, is this another one that you're really excited about seeing? Is there anything in everything that we've covered that you're not excited to see? Because, there's a lot of things that were announced today besides this project. Is there anything that was announced that you're not excited to see? Kim says, something dark side. Yes, one of the best lines ever and pretty close to the movie lore about the Sith. Oh, yeah, don't get me started on the whole Family Guy stuff, yes, man. That was like... It. Although Blue Harvest still, I think, remains to be my favorite, though. I think it's... Yeah, there's just so many great lines in that. But, hey, leave a comment in the comment section. Be sure to check out our other videos. And, of course, hey, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell.
Head to Head, a Star Wars podcast. Be sure to follow us on Twitter @HeadToHeadSW. Submit your questions for our next show. Visit our official website at headtoheadswpodcast.com. Until next time, may the Force be with you, always.